Welcome to Fun is Fundamental. Fun is Fundamental is a podcast for those who realize that the enjoyment of life is about having something deep in our souls which lights our fire. It's for those who maybe have lost that fire and feel like they are missing out on the pleasures of life. In each episode, I will share recent fun activities and focus on why having fun is essential for good health. I'm your host, Elenia, and I invite you to take this journey with me and join the pleasure-seeking movement. Hi, welcome to another episode of Fun is Fundamental. My fun seekers. Today I'm going to talk about going to my first concert in over 2 years, which I wasn't someone that was going to a concert or a show, because I guess I don't, or even small concerts considered concerts. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. A live music show. Let's just say that. I wasn't doing that often, maybe a few times a year, mostly because I tend to wake up really early, so it's like it takes a lot out of me to stay up so late. But my former roommate's band, Some Surprises, was playing at Central Saloon down in Pioneer Square in Seattle, and there were 3 other bands playing also. I get invited to her shows all the time, and I haven't seen her band play for probably 5 years or something like that. So I don't know. I got the invite, and right away I was like, I'm going to try to go to this. I was like, I don't have anything planned. It's a Saturday. I can try to go. I'm going to try to go. And so I, asked my friends if anyone wanted to go, and I had one person say, yeah, that'd be fun. Well, I think there was also, I heard from other people being like, maybe kind of thing, but only one that was just a definite yes. And so I was just like, great, I'm going to go, And so we drove part way and then went to a park and ride, and we took the light rail down to Pioneer Square. And we live pretty far north, so it's not close. It's not really fast, but the light rail at least is the fastest option to go without driving all the way. And parking is not good when you go downtown, so we wanted to take public transportation if we could. So anyway, we get there. The doorman is checking vaccination status, and all this stuff. So, I felt pretty safe. And I mean, that's the thing, when you're in a concert, it's such tight quarters. Everyone's so close to each other, but everyone's vaccinated, and then pretty much most people were keeping their masks on for at least most of the time when they weren't drinking. So, it's nice to have everyone just kind of looking out for each other. We're looking out for each other. We're looking out for ourselves. And, because you're kind of packed in there, right? So it felt a little weird to be in a tight, cramped space with a bunch of strangers, especially after, we've gone through this 2 years of 6 feet apart. You got to be 6 feet apart. But, it was really just nice to feel normal again. Any opportunities for normalcy is very welcome for me, especially because I do feel pretty safe generally. The only place I don't feel safe is on the bus. And, I can't not take the bus because I have an old car, and it's also not free parking near my work and stuff like that, So I bus. But, like I said, it's the only place I don't feel safe. Anyway, it was nice to be in the crowd, and you get the energy of the bands, the live music, and the energy of the crowd, being in a crowd, It's the first crowd I've been in for 2 years. And crowds can be kind of claustrophobic, but it wasn't that tight. We actually found a pretty nice little spot where we weren't super cramped in with people. But going to live music, has always been so energizing. And this wasn't an exception, despite it being also slightly weird. Any of the feelings of anxiety or trepidation just really just took a backseat to the thrill of being close to other humans and enjoying music together. To feel this connection to other humans, to strangers, which, I wasn't having a lot of connection to strangers, before this for a long time, everywhere you look around and you could tell people felt really good to be there, even though you couldn't see their smiling faces, like you could just see it in their eyes and in the way they would kind of bob their heads and their bodies would be kind of swaying to the melodious guitars and the music was like, it's so layered and it just would be like building and then abating, and I just really liked it. The music was invigorating and rejuvenating at the same time, just what my tired and weary soul needed. Yeah, I guess I forgot to say that I was really excited to go at first, but then like once it was like the day, I was really tired, and so I was kind of like, okay, I already bought the tickets, so I was just like, and my friend had already bought the tickets, so it was just like I had already committed, so I was gonna go, but I really didn't want to go because I was just like, I'm just tired, and I just didn't feel like very good. Like I was just kind of like, blah, blah, meh about everything. But I'm so glad I went, because I felt really, the music was just like really was healing, Yeah, like the first two bands, they were all, kind of dream pop, like, like Mazzy Star. And I really I love that sound. I love that kind of music. Third band was kind of distorted and noisy, and it was just a little bit too loud for me. Like I remember as I was listening to it, I was thinking, oh, I think I could really like this on a CD. It's just too loud. Like I was just like I felt like it was like deafening, and I was just like I basically was just like we kind of need to get out of here, I can blame myself partly because I didn't bring earplugs. I'm out of practice going to concerts. Actually, I've always been like not very good about bringing earplugs anyway. But, my 40-year-old ears can't really take as much anymore. I think it's like the aesthetic of wanting like the fuzzy, distorted sound. I mean, they also had like the psychedelic light show, like the Velvet Underground kind of thing, which I really liked, and so I could see that it was supposed to be, the sound was part of the experience, but I don't know, maybe I'm just old. I don't know, I just couldn't handle how loud it was, you know. And I don't know, maybe I needed soothing music for my soul more than just like something like jangly. I don't know if that's the right word I'm looking for. Jangly for my nerves. I don't know what I'm trying to say. So, we were like totally getting ready to leave. We closed out our tabs, we went to the bathroom, we were like heading out the door. And, it was getting kind of late. But then I ran into my friend who was at the bar because I wasn't like really like actively trying to seek her out because, well, at that point I just didn't want to go I didn't want to go to the front of the stage because it was so loud. But she was at the bar. She was kind of, the bar was like in the back, so it was like, oh, hey, there she is. And we hadn't seen each other for several years. I'm gonna say 5 years, but I don't actually know how long exactly. And so it was just nice having a little mini reunion. So we talked a little bit outside, and then like she was like, oh, we gotta go dance. So we went back in for the last, yeah, it ended up being the last song for the third band. And I was just like, okay, I've got to do it, you know, because I'm trying to, this whole thing of like this podcast is I'm trying to say yes to things, to stop like thinking about everything and analyzing everything and second guessing everything. Sometimes you just do it, and and then you see what happens. And maybe you didn't enjoy something. Not a big deal. Maybe you wasted 2 hours of your life. That's it. That that's better than saying that you didn't try. So anyway, it was loud. I went back in because I was like, yes, let's dance. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad that we just went and danced to that one song, and everything was great to see her, after so long. Yeah, I ended up feeling so glad that I went, despite being tired and old. And, I felt kind of giddy and exhilarated after. And I didn't even have that much to drink. The drinks were quite kind of weak. So like basically I probably had like 1.5 drinks, even though it was 3 drinks. Anyway, we grabbed a Seattle dog from a hot dog cart. And if you don't know, a Seattle dog has cream cheese and grilled onions on it. I love it. I know it won't be for everyone, but I really love it. I mean, I love grilled onions on anything. And actually, when it comes, yeah, I love cream cheese on anything. So for me, there is no going wrong with that. It is delicious. It was so good. And, we're walking along as we're eating it, and it's so cold. Like we were walking, it was like freezing mist, and my hands were absolutely frozen. But like at that moment, I just didn't care. I felt so happy, and my taste buds were happy, and my heart was happy, and my brain was happy, and I was just like, can't let cold rain always keep you down. I let it keep me down a lot because I really don't like it. I think I think a lot of it is that I associate with like going to work in the dark, wet mornings of winter. And, you know, when you're going and doing something that you're like really enjoying, it's very different. I could walk from that bar to the light rail on my way home from a great night, and it was fine to be cold and wet. It's just different when I'm going to go do the things that I have to do, that I'm supposed to do. I have to say I'm glad that I did not second guess going to the show. I mean, that's the thing, like we did not really have a connection anymore other than like being on social media, kind of thing, and just having the past connection. We hadn't really talked for years. But yeah, it didn't I didn't let that stop me. Or sometimes I would be like, if I really thought about it, I would have been like, is it weird for me just to like show up to her show even though we're not like really good friends or something? It's like as if it's like this big deal thing to support someone that you're not like really good friends with, right? Yeah, it's really stupid to think that someone's going to judge you for supporting their band or something. But like, I totally do that kind of thing, which is just ridiculous. It's like, why? Why? Doesn't matter. Like, I think she was actually really appreciative that I made the effort to come, even though like because, even though we weren't close, like it was just like it was just a pleasant surprise, for her. So like, why shouldn't I do those things to like support people, right? We had a wonderful night, and I'm sure we will remember it. Anyway, take chances. Don't overthink things. Stop second guessing everything. Just do things. It's okay if you mess up too, because that's also how you learn, right? And you maybe learn that you don't want to do that anymore. It's okay. I'm saying this as much for myself as for you because I need that reminder all the time. And I appreciate all artists and musicians in the world for giving us things to get out of our heads, for sharing these parts of themselves with everyone, having the bravery to be vulnerable and sharing themselves with the world. Anyway, I love you all. Be happy and have some fun. Bye.